flame.
What was that code word again? Thunder?
You're on time today. I'm here to borrow the Glorious Guardians. I also need to find a video playback device as soon as possible so I can watch this educational combat film. Do you know where I can purchase such a device?
My place. I mean, just watch it here in the store.
I rarely come to shops of such a questionable pedigree.
What questionable pedigree? We invite people over to watch movies all the time.
I've heard there are some shady stores that have moved into New Eridu and are swindling customers. Public security spoke of such cases in recent lectures.
Really, it's just a normal video store. I know the boss.
So the boss is an informant of yours, then? Fine. I trust you. So naturally, I trust your connections, too. Then, assist me in playing the film in the video store, if you please.
So, did you learn anything new about real-world combat?
I don't really think so. It was full of exaggerated fight scenes and unrealistically coincidental tactics without any real-world value. I have no idea why Captain Brewhouse would order us to watch this. But it was quite relaxing to watch, despite failing to fulfill any training goals.
Really? I thought you didn't like it much.
No, I enjoyed the experience. By the way, how much do I owe your shopkeeper informant?
Don't worry about it. Just help my manager friend promote the store more.
Roger. It seems like the manager has a mind for business. I will recommend this store to my colleagues whenever I can.
Oh, well, you look about as energetic as a fully charged bulldozer today. I'm here to pick up the videotape we talked about before.
You hardly ever come to the store. Why don't we just watch it together?
Sure. If you agree to let me dismantle that little cutie of yours, Eos. Just kidding. Come on, let's head on in and watch the movie. That was a really good movie. It might be a comedy, but there were lots of really moving scenes, too. It was actually Coleta who recommended the film. She said the heroine who time-traveled from the past was really similar to me.
Maybe because you'd both do anything in pursuit of your research?
I might have gotten that from my parents. They were both holo researchers. They were always working late when I was young. They'd work so hard that they forgot to eat. But they'd also forget to make me food, too.
Difficult parents.
I used to feel the same way. But later I came to realize how precious the time we spent together really was. Sometime later, they, disappeared while investigating a holo.
Sorry to hear that.
It's fine. It was a long time ago. After that, I was adopted by Horse, Coleta's father. And then, well, look at me going on about myself. I guess this movie really does have a way of bringing out the emotion in people.
No worries. I'd wanted to get to know you a bit better, Grace.
All right then, but that's really all there is to it. I'm just an ordinary technician. Why don't you get to know these children of mine instead? Each of these kiddos is very impressive, let me tell you. Thanks for reminding me how fun a good movie can be. I'll be singing your praises at the company whenever I get the chance. And what I said before about dismantling Eos? Why don't you think it over and get back to me? I promise I'll be gentle.
Oh, this hairstyle is quite flashy. Isn't this usually the kind of style that delinquents go for?
Well, the protagonist is a middle-aged man who doesn't exactly go by the book. But in a movie like this, the flashier the hairstyle, the better.
Huh? Why's that?
As long as the protag makes his entrance with that bizarre hairstyle, the story can then develop in a million possible ways. As for that middle-aged man, he could be someone who likes to make wild guesses about the case, someone who is bullied by spoiled brats, or even someone who loses his memory 365 times a year. Anything feels possible.
Manager, were you doling out spoilers just now?
Oops.
That's hilarious. That guy actually started snoring halfway through solving the case. That kid must have the toughest job in the world.
Glad you're finding it funny. I was worried you wouldn't like it.
Huh? Why would you think that?
Well, it's a comedy, and not exactly accurate or serious. You're PubSec. I was worried you might find the story senseless or even insulting.
Well, how else can you make people laugh if not by making it ridiculous? I'm not so out of it that I expect everything to be done by the book in a comedy. Besides, I've actually gained a lot of inspiration from it. In this episode, the culprit cleaned the scene very thoroughly in an attempt to cover up his wrongdoing. He did manage to get rid of the evidence, but it wasn't enough to cover his tracks completely.
Huh? Why not?
Anyone who checked his utility bills would have noticed something was off. With the amount of cleaning he did, his water usage would be unusually high. We public security officers would have focused our investigation on the family members of the victim first, instead of immediately treating it as a missing person case.
I'd never have thought of that. You're amazing.
No, it's not about us being particularly skilled. The crime itself is just inherently flawed. Evil never goes unnoticed in this world, and the more sophisticated the deception, the easier it is to uncover. The stronger the order established by public security, the more resilient we become against crime. That's the purpose of having a routine. Anyway, my time here was well spent watching such an intriguing movie. I'll recommend this place to my colleagues.
Hey, manager. Have you watched this one yet? Just wondering. I'm not looking for spoilers or anything. Suspense movies are always best on the first watch, you know?
I totally get that. There's this one part in it. Actually, never mind. Forget I said anything.
So you've seen it already. I was just thinking, if you hadn't watched it, I'd invite you to watch it with me. But if you have, well... Well, I guess I'll have to pretend I'm scared to watch it by myself and beg you to sit through it with me again. What do you think, manager? Got time to watch it again with me?
Sure thing. I could watch this movie 3 times in a row.
Those chainsaw and drill sounds were just too real.
I thought you weren't scared at all.
It's because the door here seems pretty sturdy. I don't have to worry about some chainsaw-wielding freak busting in. Plus, you're sitting closer to the door.
Huh? Huh?
I'm just messing with you. I was pretty relaxed the whole time. Probably because there's a scent around here that I absolutely love. which makes it easy to stay calm, no matter what we're watching. I had a great time today, but it's getting late. I should head back soon.